All right, guys. Thank you so much for the, by the way, for those of you for coming on. So today I'm just going to go over a little bit about time management and how to really do the logistics, like organizing and planning behind really building this business. Like, I wanted to understand that at the end of the day, this is a business. Like they always talk about this. If we treat it like a hobby, then we'll get results that only a hobby would provide, right? So if we want business results, then we got to treat this as a business. And what I mean by that is just like, just like how, Crystal works at Burger King or Oxford, you work at the hotel. Every job out there, there's a checklist. There are a list of tasks that you got to complete when you're at your work, right? So why not do the same thing for your own business? Why not have a checklist of things that you need to accomplish every single day? And why not have a set chunk of time when you need to clock in for your business and clock out for your business? That's one thing that I personally have been slacking for like the past couple of months, because when you become your own boss, it can be a blessing and a curse at the same time. I got so excited that I don't have to wake up to an alarm that I started to slack off, like, and then when that moment came was when I had that conscious realization that if I'm waking up to a 6 a.m. alarm for a 9 to 5 job, then why can I not do the same for my own business? That's when everything changed for me. So now, instead of like snoozing my alarm every single morning, now I wake up at 6 a.m. every day to really clock in for this business. So I want to share with you guys my calendar. It might look a little bit intimidating, but that's okay. So my calendar, oops, right here. So I don't know if you guys use Google Calendar, but this is an amazing, amazing tool to really set your schedule in an organized manner. So again, it's like a schedule like you would follow at a typical job, but this is for your own business. So obviously, if you have a job right now, you won't have as open schedule as I do, because my schedule is pretty wide open. But all you would just have to do is you would put in chunks of time where you're going to go all in, all focused on building the business. And you need that list of tasks that you got to do every single day. So earlier I sent you guys that daily methods of operation checklist. I don't know if you guys still following that, but create a list that works for you. Like what do you need to do on a daily basis to really make this happen? Do you have to go out there and talk to 10 people a day? Do you need to go out there and put in 30 minutes a day to really reply to messages and build that relationship? So you got to have that checklist for yourself. Like whatever works for you, you got to have that checklist. So, and clear out like a chunk of your schedule to do that. And then I want to go in and talk more about prepping your day up for success. So like Wednesday to Friday are the days I really have time to go all in with my business. So like how I do this is like I wake up, the first hour of my day is the phone is off limit. Like I don't touch my phone at all. Like I don't turn on my phone on airplane. Like it's always on airplane mode when I go to bed. And the hour upon waking up, I don't turn it off. So what I do is for working out, moving my body, getting mental clarity, meditating, gratitude, prayer, journaling. That hour is my sacred hour for myself. Really prep myself up for success for the rest of the day. And then you also, guys, if you are like, you also need to have a chunk of time, not just for building a business, but also for spending time on your chart, right? We want to do this hand in hand. So have a set of time where you sit down every single day, where you can really look at the charts and train your eyes to see how the price moves. Same thing for education. Like I know it can be challenging, especially if you guys have like a full-time job right now, but just make it happen, guys. Like even if it's 30 minutes a day, like it's gonna be worth it. So that's pretty much it. Put your schedule onto paper, onto a calendar. Make it so clear and follow it. Give it like 90 days. Even if you just gotta do this for 90 days, think of it as like a boot camp. Like I started this on May 1st, right? So I'm going to start waking up at 6 a.m. every single day for at least 90 days until Dallas event. And I'm going to see what kind of results I'm going to get. As long as I put in those daily action, without really focusing on what kind of results I'm getting right now, I know it's gonna show up. Like it's just planting the seed. So that's pretty much it in terms of time management. Do you guys have questions so far? Let me know in the chat. Let me know you guys are listening.
Yeah, we are.
Okay. Is that clear so far? Before I move on to the next thing, do you guys have like a schedule right now?
Well, I write it on my own schedule, but thanks for sharing the Google Calendar.
That's
That's
intense,
more
right?
easier. Yeah.
Yeah, so use the Google Calendar. It's very, very helpful. So now let me go back to my face. So that's pretty much it in terms of time management. So now I want to go more into relationship building, and that's super, super key in terms of really making this business a successful business, right? So these are nuggets that I've got from reading How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. It's my second time reading this book, so it's like I think the information sticks with me a lot more now. But before I go into the ideas that I've got from this book so far, I just want to help talk about something that I have came to realize that have really helped me with a breakthrough recently. So, we gotta understand that when we're bringing people in, it's not just a one-time process. It's not just like the moment that they signed up and they pay that 225, then that's it. That's only the beginning. Like Chance mentioned a while back in one of his call, you gotta understand that the moment that you bring somebody in, you need to become that mentor for that person. You need to become that leader for that person. So that what does that mean? That means it requires time, energy, and effort. You gotta ask yourself, like, before I can bring in more people, am I capable enough to really lead that many people? Like if today I gave you 10 people Oxford, 10 people under you, do you feel that you're capable to lead and mentor 10 people right now? The answer is going to dictate how many people is going to be a part of your team. That's why it's so important to do your personal development every single day. That's why I push it to every single one of you every single day, because like the more you grow as a leader, as a person, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, then the more capable you're able to really lead your team of people. So again, going back to that, like that also helps shift your paradigm when it comes to really talking to new people about the opportunity we have. I want us to understand that when we're talking to them, we're not just trying to sell them to sign up that one time process. We are literally selling these people to an entire new way of life. Like literally the moment that they decide to do this, everything in their life is going to change if they do put into action. Obviously, like if they don't use this, if they're not close to a campfire, then nothing in their life is going to change. But for those people who are really like going to come into this and change their lives, like they need to understand, you need to understand that you're selling them to an entire new way of life. You gotta work with them about the mental game, work with them with the discipline, the habits, the scheduling, time management, every single thing. You gotta do that. So ask yourself, are you ready to do all of that? Right? If you're not, then obviously the universe won't bless you with more people to put under you. So I hope that helps you, any one of you out there to really understand, like, this is not a process where you gotta rush things. It's a journey. So, and I think when we are thinking in that manner, that helps take off a lot of pressure in terms of really selling people to like, taking $225 out of the wallet. It's more so like really opening their eyes up to what kind of life is possible for them. Like we are a mentor, not a salesperson. Like when I had that realization, like it helped me tremendously, and it also helped me like really put people first, right? Like I'm not gonna go out there and try to force somebody to want to learn Forex if they don't truly see a value in this, right? Like all I'm doing is here to present information and opportunities for people, and if they see the value in it, then great. We're here to help them get started, but if they don't, then no problem. Like that helps definitely, like with your posture. It definitely makes you like feel less desperate. Like people can feel that energy when you're like so desperate for them to join you and get started. So hopefully that helps, guys. So now I will go into the nuggets I got from reading. So the first three key ideas that I got out of this book is that basically it's like three key principles that you gotta keep in mind when you interact with people, when you talk to people. These are like fundamental principles that will really help you if you remember it and if you master it. So the number one thing is, if you guys are writing down notes, definitely write this down. So the number one principle is that do not ever criticize, condemn, or complain. Okay, principle number one is don't criticize, condemn, or complain. What that just means is that, people thrive on compliments, appreciations, love, that kind of stuff. And people, when they're being criticized, especially by people that they look up to, it leaves behind like some sort of resentment that will stick with them for the rest of their lives. Like definitely form a habit of finding the good aspects in people. Like whoever that you interact with, get into the habit of really seeing what the people are doing great. Instead of seeing the negative things, see the positive in everything. And that principles apply to anything in life, not just in people, right? Like always find the best aspects of anybody, any situation that you encounter, right? So, and the way that and then like criticizing is also like going to hurt somebody's pride. Like every person is like human nature, like we're so prideful, like our ego gets hurt when somebody criticizes us. So instead of really like, okay, how do I phrase this? Does this make sense, guys? So far, don't criticize. I think that's pretty simple. Let's see, I should just use your keep me accountable, Crystal.
Yeah, makes sense, Miko.
Okay. All right. Okay. If you guys want more details, I highly recommend you to go and read that book. But so that's the number one principle. Don't criticize, condemn, or complain. Okay. So number two, I go into the second principle. The second principle is to give honest and sincere appreciation. Okay. Principle number two, give honest and sincere appreciation. So the author talked about one of the things is that like, humans have a tons of inherent desires and needs. And they include things like food, water, sex, money, well-being, things like that. But the number one desire that most people don't get enough of is the feeling of importance, right? Like most of us don't get that sense of importance like fulfilled by other people. So if you can become that person who can really make whoever you interact with feel important, then you're going to have that sort of influence over them that most people don't. So how do I do that? How do I make somebody feel important? Then obviously it's by appreciation. When somebody did something amazing, really take the effort to go out there and show appreciation, and it needs to be sincere. It cannot be just like shallow flattery, things that don't really come from your heart. So people like to be complimented, and yeah, the key is to really like, you gotta arouse enthusiasm amongst people and to really develop the best in anybody by simply encouragement and appreciation, because people tend to do better and people tend to thrive when they are really like being appreciated. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
100%.
All right, you guys probably noticed too that I love giving you guys shout outs because I'm applying what I'm learning. So all right, okay, principle number 3. All right, you guys, you remember the first two? The first one is don't criticize, condemn, or complain. Principle number 2 is give honest and sincere appreciation. And then the last one is to arouse in the other person an eager want. Okay, so pretty much like every single action that any human being engage in is because of a certain desire or want, right? Like if I'm going to go get food, it's because I'm hungry. Or if I'm gonna go out there and take a walk is because I want some exercise. There's always a desire behind every single action that we take. So, one of the biggest downfall that people do when they try to get someone else to do something is that they just talk about what they want. For example, like today I'm talking to Oxford, right? Like say he wasn't in IML yet and I'm here trying to talk to him and be like, hey Oxford, you need to get started with learning Forex. Like I want you to do this because it's gonna benefit me because I'm so excited. I'm looking for more people to join my team. Notice I'm only talking about what I want. I didn't even give a single moment where I'm talking about what Oxford wants. Like you gotta frame that conversation in a way that talk about what Oxford want. I'm gonna ask him question like, what are you looking for in life? Like what do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years of your life? Like put them in the spotlight. Like let him talk and talk about the things that he wants, and then you're going to frame whatever you have to offer in a way that's going to present like a solution or that vehicle that will get everything that Oxford wants, right? So first step is definitely like get a clear idea of what the other person that you're talking to wants, and then offer whatever you have to offer as a solution to accomplish all those desires. Does that make sense?
Wow.
Makes sense, right?
Uh-huh.
So definitely, like when we go out there and talk to people and really like bring up that conversation, really be mindful. Like how many times are you using that pronoun I? I want this, I want that, I this, I that, I think, I want. Be mindful of how many times you use those words, right? Instead, focus all your attention on the other person. Let that other person talk and let him think about what's their dream life like, what kind of financial states they want to be in 10 years from now. Really put them to think. So when they have that ideal scenario in their mind, they know what they want. So now what it's missing is that how am I gonna get there? Like for example, today I want this giant mansion. I want freedom lifestyle. Like I know what I want, right? But most people don't know how they're gonna get there. Like what's that solution that will get them to that dream life that they want. So what your job is, you come in and you present that vehicle. Say, hey, I have this opportunity for you. If you do this and do that, then you can get everything that you want. So that's going to make you have more influence over people rather than just be like, hey, I want you to do this because I think it's going to benefit me, blah, blah, blah. That's not going to work because everybody's only focused on what they want. Everybody's only interested in themselves. They're not interested in what you're trying to sell them. So that's principle number 3, arouse in the other person an eager want. Okay, so these are the fundamental techniques in really handling people. At the end of the day, we are in a people's business. So if you develop the skill set of really interacting and handling people the best that you can, then you're gonna win in this industry. So, and then the next one, I guess I'll save these for next training. The next training I'll teach you guys how like 6 ways that you can do to make people like you. But hey, if you guys want to go ahead and read the book, feel free to. Like there's so much good nuggets in this book. I just share with you the three key points that the first chapter of the book talked about. So if you guys want to go ahead and get the book, I highly recommend doing that. So that's pretty much what I wanted to go over with you guys today. Really just getting that mindset clear. Do you guys have questions? Feel free.
How would you like say to people when they asking for a proof?
Asking for proof,
Uh-huh.
like with Forex.
Yeah, with Forex, like
Mm-hmm.
they keep telling us the like, trading part, and
Yeah.
then they keep asking me, have you withdraw any money on it?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
actual
Yeah.
money. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
you know what? I haven't like opened my broker account yet,
Mm-hmm.
so I can't show you that. But
Mm-hmm.
in my experience, I think it's gonna help you out. Like
Mm-hmm.
I just share my experience, but they wanted like a proof. How
Yeah.
would you like how would you like respond to that? Like
Mm-hmm.
in yourself.
Of course. I mean, like, I think that the number one thing when people ask you that question is just they just don't know what they don't know. You know, like they come into this when you're presenting them like with information like that. Obviously, the first thing they're gonna think about is how soon or like how soon am I gonna be able to make money with this, right? But it's your job to really help them understand that this is a skill set, right? If they have been to college, then I would try to ask them, like how many years did it take for you in college or to master a skill set before you start making money? I always use my own personal experience. Like, I say I went to Berkeley for 4 years. I make $0 with my 4 years in college, and I still, hasn't made anything after college, using my diploma. So you have to help them understand that this is a skill set that will take time, and if they don't understand it, then just don't waste your time. It's you gotta, yeah, like they always talk about, you gotta conserve your energy, right? Like if people just want to come in here and get rich quick, and if you try to explain to them like this is something that will take time and effort to really master, then just don't waste your time. Move on and go out there and talk to someone else. Does that make sense?
I see, I see. Yeah, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, and
Like
also
in the
I would.
future, are you gonna like oh yeah, go ahead. Sorry about that.
No, so, and I would also just like emphasize that this is when you start something like this, you're literally learning how to become a better person all around. It's not just learning how to make money, like because to be successful at this, like you need to literally unlearn old patterns of beliefs. Like you gotta reprogram your subconscious mind. You're literally having to change yourself like in all areas of your life, that even if you make $0 today, or in 1 year learning forex, you are going to turn into a better person that's more capable to make millions somewhere down the road, right? You got to emphasize that. You got to emphasize that this is a community that will really help foster your growth and really encourage you to be a better you. So it's not just about forex. So you can also put it that way. What were you going to ask me?
Let me remember that.
You said in the future.
Oh yeah, in the future, are you gonna like do a live trading with us, like a practice, something like that,
Like forex?
or do we ask someone else?
Yeah, I can
To
do it.
build.
To build? Wait,
Yeah,
what?
he's talking about having a training to build, learning how to build.
Aren't we doing that right now?
No, yeah, the trading part.
Trading, like a live trading, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do that. I mean, I'm usually trading like New York session or Asian session. So if you guys want me to like do a Zoom call when I'm trading, I can do that with
The
you guys.
the the only thing I don't understand is the confirmation. Like
Mm.
I know how to set up the graphs in the quarter theory and everything, but
Mm-hmm.
the confirmation is like I don't understand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
Yeah,
can do that with
that's
you
the
guys.
only thing that's the only thing I don't get right now.
I can even just do a training. It doesn't have to be a live trading session.
Yeah, yeah, like a demo.
Yeah, so just let me know when you guys want to hop on. Because I just don't know like how Jonathan and Chuck have been teaching you guys. Like I don't want to confuse you if we're doing something different. So like I just yeah. So if you guys want me to show you how I do it, I can. Yeah.
I think it's better like for me if like there's a different kind of idea. Like
Mhm.
what do you do? What Chance do? And Jonathan and
Mhm.
Chuck. Yeah, I
Mhm.
think I might like probably understand one of the other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Different people explain it differently too. So just see. Yeah, we can do that. Maybe tomorrow. I don't know. Just let me know when. My schedule is pretty open.
Yeah, I can do like this week,
Okay.
like every day.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like I thought I'm all in this, you know. I've been like doing my best and everything, so like I'm on it.